Welcome back, gentlemen. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a 7-step process to unfuck your life. And for those of you who would have clicked on a video title like this, I know where you're at. I know exactly where you're at. And I have been there more times than I can count. Whether it's relationships in your life that aren't going the way you planned, or maybe you're struggling with, abusing some substances, or you're struggling financially, you're not in good physical health. I know where you're at. And this video is a video that I wish I had to watch, because I've watched countless videos like this, but my process, you're going to find, is a little bit different than some of these other softer approach self-help personal development gurus. So it kicks things off. Step 1 for most of these other gurus that I've seen, like I said, with a softer approach, is they'll tell you first you have to accept that you have a problem, or you have to accept that you have f***ed up your life in order to start on. I completely disagree with that approach. I do not believe that that should be your square one by identifying as your problem. Because we're looking to get out of it. We're looking to get better, to improve our situation. So why would we label ourselves as some of our problems? So step 1 in my book is accepting the fact that your situation can get worse. Accepting the fact that if you do not take action to unfuck your life, it can get more fucked up from here. For me, that's always helped, because there's been certain times when I'm sitting there, I'm just at a low point, and accepting that that is not my rock bottom, that there's many more rock bottoms that I could hit. And knowing that if I turn around now, if I do something about it now, I can avoid it getting worse. Because if it already feels this bad, if it already feels this fucked up, then I don't even want to think about it getting worse. So once again, step 1, accept the fact that your situation can get worse. Step 2 is, and again, some of these softer approach guys, they're going to tell you, you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mental right. You got to focus on your mental health. And that's going to be the grounds for everything. Bullshit. What you actually need to focus on is your physical health. Integrating some level of a fitness, physical routine into your day-to-day life. I believe that your mental health, a lot of the grounds for you to have a good mental health, to be operating at a higher frequency, comes from your physical health, the shape that your body is in. So I always tell guys, focus on your body first. Your mental is going to follow. And that leads us directly into step 3. And that is, if you're going to be implementing some level of fitness routine, again, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're running, if you are going for walks, if you're bodybuilding, if you're strength training, powerlifting, whatever it is. But if you're going to be pushing yourself physically, you need to start thinking about how you're going to be fueling that machine, how you're going to be fueling your body. So start looking at what you're eating on a day-to-day basis, what you're consuming that is going to help you to fuel your body to continue to push and continue to hone in and drive towards better physical health. Okay. And this is going to have a direct effect, once again, on your mental aptitude as well. A lot of guys out there right now, like I see this Sam Sulek kid all the time, and he's always preaching about just calories in, calories out. Complete horseshit. Okay. A calorie is not a calorie. A calorie is not a calorie. 100 calories of protein versus 100 calories of carbohydrates is going to have a completely different effect on your body as well as your mental. Like, I know myself well enough, and I know that if I eat carbohydrates, I'm going to experience a level of like brain fog and things like that. And everybody's bodies kind of process these things a little differently. So just have some self-awareness, when you're eating stuff, like try and be conscious about how it makes you feel, how you feel the next day. If you worked out the day prior, how do you feel the next day? Do you feel focused? Do you feel sore? Do you feel less sore when you eat other certain things? So, do some research and then do some testing of your own, see how your body reacts. But I cannot stress the importance enough of fueling your body the right way, especially when you're looking to implement some level of a physical fitness routine into your schedule. Now, moving into step number 4. Step number 4 is starting to think about the content that you're consuming on a day-to-day basis. So now you've got some level of a fitness routine into your day-to-day. You're eating the right things. Now we need to start thinking about what we're feeding our minds, okay? And for a lot of you, you're probably, if you're at a low point, you're probably trying to distract yourself from that at times. You're sitting there mindlessly scrolling TikTok in the evening or Instagram Reels or what have you. And so what you want to do to get started is first understand, like, what am I consuming now? And how could it possibly be either positively or negatively affecting me? And I think actually a friend of mine showed me this the other day. He goes, if you want to know a lot about a guy, just have him click his little explore tab on his Instagram page and see what kind of content populates that page, because it gives you a really good benchmark of the kind of content that you're consuming. Mine is I've got motivational guys. I've got a lot of business stuff, watches, guns, a couple women here and there, cars. It's not half naked girls dancing on TikTok or Instagram. It's business stuff. That's what I'm consuming on a day-to-day basis. Now, at certain low points, you're going to sit there and I want you to check it out for yourself and really look through it and think wow, this is the shit that I'm consuming. And it's no wonder, because the content that we're consuming is a lot of where some of our ideas and just our overall thought processes are going to come from. So look at that, be critical of yourself, and then say to yourself, okay, well, this is what I'm consuming now. Is this doing me justice or is it not? And how can I change the way that I'm consuming content? So maybe if your feed looks like shit, it's just nothing but crap that you're feeding yourself, maybe you just put the phone away, man. Go on Amazon, order a couple books. Start reading some personal development, some self-improvement books. Start reading some business books or just books on things that you're interested in. That's a really good place to start. And overall, just understanding that there's a lot of importance and a lot of weight on that content that you're feeding yourself, especially leading into what we're going to start doing now, which is building on top of this foundation we're building, where we focus on our physical health, what we're putting in. Now we're talking about, what we're feeding our brain as far as content is concerned. And this really leads directly into step 5, which is to find purpose in your life. So now that you've built this foundation, it's time for you to start thinking about what your purpose is. And this is going to be an ongoing process. You're going to continue to hone your purpose, but everyone needs a purpose. You need purpose because purpose is going to enable you to show up and do the work on yourself, do the work for the sake of others, whether or not you feel like it. Discipline's this big buzzword, and I believe discipline is extremely important in a young man's life. However, discipline a lot of times is a byproduct of having a purpose, of having a true purpose. You think back to prior generations of men that were working in coal mines, slaving away on the railroads, going to war. They had a purpose, and it was to protect and provide for their families, to put food on the table, to protect their country. They had a concrete purpose that enabled them to do what most people would not be willing to do on a day-to-day basis, to sacrifice things that most people would not be willing to sacrifice because they had a greater purpose. So definitely don't overlook this, but Also, don't get caught up on it too heavily in the earlier stages of the process, because your purpose is going to become more clear as you continue to progress as a man, as you continue to build yourself into a man worthy of some of the things that you want in your life. And your purpose doesn't have to be this overly complexified thing. Your purpose could be just to be the hero for your family, to protect and provide for the people that you love, to be a good friend, to be a good son, to be a good father. Your purpose does not have to be this worldly thing. In fact, more often than not, I find that the men that I look to with the utmost respect have a very concrete, very solidified sense of purpose. And their purpose oftentimes is small in the realm of its impact to society and the world. But to them, it is everything. It's their family. It's their sons, their daughters, their brothers, their parents. It's being there for the people that they hold dearest and being willing to sacrifice anything to become the best version of themselves so that they can show up as that best version of themselves for those people that they love. And so that leads into the final step, step 7, which is to take time to reflect. And this isn't going to be done, within a week of you starting this process, okay? Like, we're talking months, if not years, of compounding interest going into each and every one of these steps and implementing them, not all at once, but implementing them piece by piece into your life and building yourself up. And the importance of the reflection component is, a lot of times once you've built yourself up, you can get caught up in just, man, it's never enough. For a lot of men, I mean, maybe not in this new generation, or at least my generation now, but ambition is like this natural, innate nature in a man to continue to press for more. And I believe that that's a good thing. And I think that you should be that way. But it is important as well to, especially when you're starting from a place of nothing and you're trying to build yourself up as a man, to take the time to reflect back and look at where you came from. Look at the distance that you've carried yourself. Also, the lessons that you've learned along the way. And to at least have some level of appreciation and respect for yourself for dragging yourself out of that hole. The reflection component is something that I definitely struggle with. I mean, I very oftentimes just go, and it's never good enough, and it's always got to be better. However, the times that I do set aside and I do actually sit down and reflect on where I've come from, it really solidifies this concrete belief that I have in myself and helps me to continue to push myself further, in that it's not what you have, it's how you got it. If you are this high status man, you've got the watch, the car, the girl, all these different things in life, but you got it all by cheating people out of their money, by screwing people over, by doing shady business deals, it means nothing. It means nothing. It's not what you have, it's how you got it. So be a man of honor. If any of you are kind of in that dark place and you're trying to pull yourselves out, you're the only one that can decide that it's time to make a change. And it all starts with accepting the fact that your situation, as fucked up as it may be, can get worse. But if any of you need some help, need some guidance, need a further breakdown of any of these steps, leave a comment below, find me on Instagram, shoot me a DM. I'm always available to try and help other young men improve and be better so that they can show up as a better version of themselves for the people that they care about. All right, gentlemen, stay honorable. I will catch you all on the next video.